everyone, welcome back to my channel. So this video is going to be a wrap up and also day one of Vlogmas. I'm filming this right as I got home. I haven't even taken my coat off because I think I will convince myself not to do Vlogmas if I wait any longer. I've always wanted to do Vlogmas. I love watching other people's videos during December. I've always wanted to do it, but I always convince myself that I can't, or that my videos aren't going to be interesting, which they probably aren't, but I don't know. I keep thinking about it and I want to do it, so I'm going to do it. We'll see what it looks like. This is not going to be a super polished version of myself, but I think the challenge of posting videos every day until Christmas is an interesting challenge. Of course, this is going to remain book focused. I'm going to still be talking a lot about books, but it's going to be a little bit more in progress instead of my final thoughts on a book or, you know, a polished review or something like that. We'll see what happens. Genuinely going to try my hardest to do this challenge and actually post every day until Christmas. For those of you who don't know, Vlogmas is an annual tradition where people will post a video every single day just to get into the holiday spirits, but also because I've heard that YouTube pays the most during December. That doesn't really factor into my calculations because I'm not currently monetized on YouTube. Maybe me doing Vlogmas will get me to that point, which would be nice. And I'm actually going to take my coat off because it's getting kind of hot. I've actually been doing YouTube for 5 years now, and I did get monetized at one point, and then I stopped posting, and then I got demonetized. This year, when I started posting again, I've been slowly inching my way back to the 3,000 hours that are required to be monetized. You need to have 3,000 watch hours. Anyways, that's all besides the point. The reason why I've always wanted to do Vlogmas is I love the holidays. I love getting into the Christmas spirit. Just think it would be interesting to challenge myself to make a video every single day and see what comes out of the constraint of having to post every day. And I think that the most interesting art often happens because of constraints, and I'm not calling my videos art, but they are a creative outlet for me. It'll just help me be more comfortable on camera. That's what this is going to be. In the intro, I mentioned that this is going to be a wrap-up as well. It's going to be a very easy wrap-up because I only read one book in November. Looking back at my Goodreads, and I was like, surely this cannot be, because I feel like I was reading a ton during the month, but I only read one book. Well, I only finished one book, which was No Life Forsaken by Steven Erikson. The thing with Malazan that I'm really noticing, The Witness Quartet, is that it is a very dense and layered story that I first read the series 5 years ago in 2020. I've grown a lot as a reader, and I'm appreciating the series and Erikson's writing so much more now than I did back then. I think when I first read Malazan, I was really into it and I liked it, but I couldn't really put my finger on why. And now I feel like I'm picking up on specific things that Erikson does. He talks about a theme not in just a very obvious way, but he talks around a theme as well and works up to a point by planting things in places that aren't necessarily totally related to that central theme. Does that even make sense? All I know is No Life Forsaken was fantastic. I loved it. And the other thing that I read in November was 2666 by Roberto Bolaño, which I've talked about on the channel a lot now. I've been reading it for 2 months. It's been a while since I started reading that book, and it's a very long book. It's 800 pages long, and the way that I'm reading it is insane. Admittedly, I don't recommend anyone read like this, but what I've been doing is I'm reading the actual book, so I have the ebook, and then I'm also listening to the audiobook at the same time. And sometimes my ebook reading and my audiobook reading will be synced, and I'll just be sort of immersive reading, I think that's called. But also other times when I'm driving and I still want to be listening to the audiobook, I'll just listen to the audiobook and I'll get ahead in the audiobook. When I get back to the ebook, stay where I'm at in the ebook and reread the part that I just listened to. And then on top of that, I've just been going back a ton and rereading sections because it goes on so many different tangents. Literally, Bolaño will be talking about one thing and then he'll jump back 10 years and be talking about something that happened 10 years ago. One sentence later, he's back to talking about the present tense. And he goes on these tangents where a side character will be, telling this long ass story that has nothing to do with what we've been talking about for the entirety of the book. And it's just like this very long anecdote about some cowboy or something. It's amazing on one hand, but on the other hand, I just have to keep going back and rereading stuff. It really feels like the progress is 3 steps forward, 4 steps backward. It's slow going, but it's a very, very fulfilling. A thought I've been having recently that I talked about in my last video that I did with my fiance, the Malazan reader tag, how important it is to read books that you don't understand. I was actually listening to a podcast about Thomas Pynchon, and the host said something like that, and it really was validating to hear that from someone who was talking about Thomas Pynchon and had read all of Pynchon's books, and was saying that I don't understand everything that Pynchon has to say all the time. I have to, look up things and use resources. But also the first time that he read Gravity's Rainbow, he just read it, and he didn't have those resources, and how even that experience was meaningful. This was a lot. I don't know if I'm even going to post this. I'm still waffling on whether or not I'm going to commit to Vlogmas, but it is after work. That's the thing with these videos, is I'm going to have to film these after work, because before work, I'm completely useless in the morning and I have nothing interesting to say before the hour of 8 a.m. If I'm doing this, it's going to all have to be post 5 p.m. once I get home. I'm gonna try. I really, really want to make this work. The plan now, go grocery shopping. Clean a little. Also, I need to edit this. And hopefully read. Let me know in the comments down below if you're even interested in this. Maybe I will lose 100 subscribers as soon as I post this video, and I'll get scared and not do more Vlogmas. So if that happens, you never saw anything. Before I go, I just wanted to share the latest edition of the New York Book Review. These covers alone have made the subscription so worth it. Can't wait to read this. If I get sick of reading 2666, I will switch over to this.